Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So in today's video we're going to be doing something a bit different. So last week we moved house, we moved into the new games room, and I've done a sort of brief tour of the new sort of games room setup. But while I was moving, I actually found loads and loads of extra bits sort of in the loft. A couple of bits that I was sort of expecting to find, but then I've also got some bits that I'd forgotten about, and I've got two things here that I am going to be adding in to allow me to sort of play stuff that's slightly different. So let's roll the intro, and then what we'll do is we'll go through everything that I've managed to get. Okay, so as I said, we have got quite a bit to sort of go through here, so I am literally going to jump straight in. And the first thing that we've got to sort of go through is actually going to be something for playing games on, and it is an old Pentium PC. So this was an old PC that I had sort of sitting in the loft. It's a Dell Dimensions P113V, and it's got sort of a CD drive, floppy drive, and not much else. So what I am going to be doing is I am going to be sort of giving it a big old clean up and getting it sort of back to sort of working order. As far I think I have turned it on, and it does turn on, it does post, so it's all good. And I'm going to install Windows 98 on this so that we can sort of play some of the older games. I've got a fair amount of games to that will work on sort of machines like this, but they won't necessarily work on Windows 10. So yeah, I want to sort of get back into sort of my vintage sort of gaming. And with regards to that as well, I then also found all of my I've got two stacks here, my old floppy disks, and a lot of it's sort of utilities and sort of just random sort of stuff I had, but I know that some of these disks have got games on, and where's the one that I'm looking for? Yeah, see, like I've got that one which says sort of saves theme Monopoly. Where is it? Here we go. So I'm not 100% sure that this is what's still on the disk. As I say, I've not had access to a floppy drive in quite a while, but I've got one here which is Auto Run, Cisco Heat, Star Wars, Windows Games, and Titus the Fox. So the Star Wars game on here is the sort of vector graphics one from sort of the 80s. So yeah, all sort of games like that. I've even got a copy of the Dancing Baby screensaver. That shows you how old sort of all of these floppy disks are. So yeah, once I'm able to sort of get the Dell machine sort of up and running, I'm going to sort of go through those sort of disks, and if it's something that you're all interested in, let me know in the comments, and I'll sort of do a video sort of going through sort of some of the sort of the games and bits and pieces that I've got on the floppy disks, if that's going to be of interest. If not, I'll just sort of go through them, and as I say, if I've got all those games on that disk, which I should have, because I was very sort of particular about sort of deleting sort of game files, yeah, and we can sort of go through them, maybe even sort of do a video sort of going through some of these old sort of PC games. But while we're on the subject of PCs, I am also going to bring in this one. So this is a HP Tower that I sort of had kicking around in the loft. It is an old Pentium 4 HT, so the HT stands for hyper threading, and I am actually going to set this one up with Windows XP. So it comes with a Windows XP sticker on the top, so I haven't got to worry about sort of codes or anything like that. And yeah, I am going to set this up so then I've got basically everything covered. So I'm going to have the 3 PCs that I'll have access to. We'll have the original Dell, which is good for sort of anything that's playable on Windows 98, 95, 98 and DOS. We've then got the XP machine, which will fit everything sort of in between. And then we've got my main computer, which is running Windows 10, and that will basically play anything modern, anything Steam, sort of anything like that. So yeah, we'll have a PC that will allow us to, we'll have a PC in place that will be able to sort of play anything on really. But with regards to sort of the XP machine, we've then also got a truckload of PC games. And I did have some more, but I don't know where they've gone to. Because there's one there in that stack of, the other stack of games that I've got is actually one of my favourite all-time games. So I do need to sort of hunt that pile out again. So we'll just go through these quickly. So we've got Monopoly Tycoon. This one is going to be working on the XP machine. We've got the original Red Alert. So I absolutely love this game. You'll see there'll be a string of Red Alert titles in here. And we'll quickly move on to Command and Conquer Renegade. This was the first person shooter that they brought out, based in the sort of Command and Conquer universe. We've got The Punisher. So this was 2005 by THQ. I think I briefly played that. CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. I will have played it briefly, but I can't remember it. Then we've got Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. I didn't really get into this one. I played it briefly. I have got it on my main computer because I actually bought a bundle disc from Game a couple of years ago, which basically you downloaded all of the games through Origin. But yeah, I've never really got into sort of Red Alert 3. I mean, it was too different from the original ones. Then we've got a game that I did absolutely love, and I have recently picked it up on the PS2, and it's Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. So yeah, as I say, this was the first version that I played, and yeah, it is an absolutely cracking title. If you can get hold of it, I highly recommend it. The Xbox version is quite expensive now. I think it's close to about £80, but the PS2 and the PC versions are still quite you can get them quite cheap. I think even the PS2 version though is starting to creep up. So if you've got a PC, so this one will work on it says up to Windows XP. So there may be a patch out there that will allow you to play it on Windows 10. But yeah, highly recommend Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. We've obviously got the new one, the Jurassic World, is it Evolutions? By the one that was made by the company that made Roller Coaster Tycoon. Not Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, what was the name of it? I can't remember now. But it came out the other year. They've got a sequel coming out as well. Do you know what? I've got it. I think I've got it on Steam, but I haven't actually played it yet. So yeah, my bad on that one. Next up, we've got Red Faction. So another absolutely cracking game. I remember when these originally come out, I absolutely loved playing them. Played them on the PC because I think when they first come out, what we got 2001. 2001 would have been that PS1 era. PS2, were we on to PS2 by that point? Don't know, but whatever reason is I ended up getting it on the PC. Thought it was an absolutely cracking game. So yeah, love the Red Faction games. Then next up, we've got a brand new sealed PC game. So I've obviously bought it, never played it. So it's Kingpin, Life of Crime. This is from the sold out collection, so it's not an original one, but yeah, don't know why I bought that and then not ended up playing it. So I've obviously bought sort of a whole load in one go, and this one just got sort of missed in action. So yeah, not too sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Then another cracking game, and I have recently managed to get this. I believe I've got it on the original Xbox now. I'm pretty sure I've got it on the original Xbox now, but we've got The Thing. So yeah, this is, what's the date on this one? 2002 this one come out. So once again, this is how I originally played it, was on the PC. Absolutely loved it. Obviously all of the PC games that I've got are box complete, because I've always just kept hold of manuals. So yeah, box complete. Another absolutely cracking game. If you can pick it up and play it, I would say you're probably better off to try and pick it up on console now, so either original Xbox or PS2, just because obviously the PC version is going to be an XP, it's going to be Windows XP, so it's going to be that sort of bit harder to sort of play it. Then we've got SimCity. So this is the remake and the game that actually ended Maximus, which is a real shame, because obviously Maxim, they obviously made The Sims, and yeah, it was a real shame, sort of the pressures that they were put under to put in the DRM for this game just ruined them, and yeah, really gutting. But I enjoyed it. A lot of people sort of don't like the new SimCity, but I do. I quite enjoyed it. Then next up we've got another Red Alert. So this is Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, by far the best game out of all of the Command & Conquer games. I absolutely love this game. It's a 2-disc set. I'm not going to flip it round because I've got code in it and I want my code. But yeah, absolutely love this game. I go back and I play it sort of quite frequently, and yeah, it's just a bit of a downer that the online mode isn't as popular as it was. Then we've got Mall Tycoon. So this is a Take Advantage box. So originally it was published by Take-Two. So this is obviously their version of sort of Platinum. And yeah, once again, box complete. Then we've got a couple more PS2 titles left. Only 4 more. The absolute classic that is Theme Hospital. So if you've played 2 Points Hospital, this is basically what brought 2 Points Hospital to life. It is an absolutely brilliant game. You can get it on Origin, and it will play on sort of, if you get it through Origin, it will play on sort of Windows 10's machine. So if you haven't ever played this, definitely get hold of it. It is a brilliant game, and if you do get hold of it and you enjoy it, maybe consider sort of getting hold of the original theme park. The graphics on that will be extremely dated now, especially in comparison to things like Roller Coaster Tycoon and the other theme park game. I can't remember the name of it. Then we've got a Sims expansion pack, so Making Magic. I'm assuming this was one of my wife's PC games that has ended up sort of in my collection, because I know I got this. I had a couple of versions of The Sims, but never bought any of the expansion packs. Then the last two that we've got Red Faction 2. So following on from the first one, I'd completed the first one, then this one come out, and yeah, picked it up, and I believe I've completed this one as well. And finally, you'll see a bit of a theme here as well. We've got Car Tycoon. The idea of this is basically you build a car brand from sort of scratch. So you build the sort of the factories, the design the cars, blah 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 blah, showrooms and everything. I absolutely love the sort of tycoon games. I really enjoy them. I've got loads and loads of them on my Steam account, and I tend to chuck them on as sort of time sponges, because they're easy to play, and they just sort of tick along. Then, so next up we've got two more bits. We've got one big box of stuff. Once again, this is a mixture of stuff that I didn't know I had and stuff that I was actively looking for. But before we get to them, I have got a board game, and it's not just any board game. It's probably the most controversial board game on the planet, and it is Monopoly, but it's Pokemon Monopoly. So as I say, I am going a bit mental on sort of Pokemon stuff at the moment. I think I said that at the end of the moving video, and this actually belonged to my wife's sister. When we were clearing out when my sort of wife moved out, we come across it. By that point, my wife's sister had already moved out, so we essentially sort of staked claim to it, and it got put in the loft with some of the other copies of Monopoly that I've got. And pretty much, I hadn't forgotten about it because I knew that it was up there, but I didn't really have the room to sort of put it in the old house. But if you remember rightly, when we were sort of doing the tour of the games room, there was two shelves just up the top there that were empty, and all they had on was the Pikachu Happy Meal box. Well, those two shelves are going to be dedicated to Pokemon, and it will probably, going by the amount of Pokemon stuff that I've picked up recently, those two shelves are not going to be enough. So I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do, but I am going to have to sort of work out a way to sort of put more Pokemon stuff in. But yes, those two shelves are going to be sort of dedicated to sort of Pokemon, and the Pokemon Monopoly will probably go right at the very top. Right, so lastly, we've got this big box, and it is absolutely chock full of bits. So there's all separate bags in here, so we're going to start with this one. Now, I know this is the reason it's in a black bag is because these were sort of bits and pieces that were up in the loft, sort of spread out. They weren't actually in it. I put them in here so that I knew to sort of include them in this video. So where we go first? So first off, we've got the actual game for the Grand Theft Auto. So you would have seen sort of when we went through the PC shelf, and as well in the old house, it was there was a shelf above the TV, and I had an original Grand Theft Auto on PC box, but didn't realise that the game wasn't actually in there. So yeah, as I was going through the loft, I pulled that out, and yeah, it's got sort of the disc and everything in there. Disc is in, yeah, it's okay, it's used, but yeah, that I'm going to sort of stick in its box. I thought I'd already done that, so I'm surprised that it's still in here. Then we've got a couple of different bits actually. So we've got the Grand Theft Auto 3 original soundtrack. This is a soundtrack sampler, sorry. So this was a promo disc that was sort of given away. I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue how I've ended up with this, but it's a cool thing to have. So yeah, we'll put that sort of somewhere. I'll probably put that on one of the PS2 shelves, because obviously we've got Grand Theft Auto 3 on the PS2. Then we've got Driver 2 back on the streets. Yes, I was just sort of looking at it because obviously there was nothing written on the front, but yes, it is a demo disc. Once again, I have no idea sort of where I've got that. It's obviously something that's been, it was either on a magazine or it was sort of handed out sort of in a game shop. But yeah, we've got the Driver 2 demo disc for the original PlayStation. So we'll stick that up on the PlayStation shelf. Then we've got another demo disc actually. This is Need for Speed Carbon, and this is actually a PS2 demo disc. Sorry, I thought it was original PlayStation. But yeah, Need for Speed Carbon demo disc. It looks really good condition, sort of a bit dusty from where it's been in the loft, but overall, sort of yeah, really chuffed with that. And then we finish off this bit with a PlayStation Magazine demo disc. So this has got Siphon Filter, Ape Escape, Monaco Grand Prix, Bloody Raw 2, Driver, all new demo. We've got Colin McRae Rally, Final Fantasy 7, and then we've got some videos for V Rally 2 and Ice Hockey 2. So yeah, issue number 47 of PlayStation Magazine. Yeah, I do like getting these. I've got a couple of these on the sort of PlayStation 2 and on the Xbox. So if I do see them, I do sort of tend to pick them up. So yeah, we'll put that in with the PlayStation stuff as well. Then we've got, so what are we going to do next? I'll tell you what, we'll do this. So we've got 2 copies of the exact same game on 2 different consoles, and it is Doom 3. So originally, when Doom 3 first came out, I didn't have an original Xbox, so I ended up buying it on the PC, but my PC was just under being able to sort of run it properly. And this is back in the day when you would have 3 discs for Doom 3. Absolutely mental. But yeah, so I bought it and ended up getting sort of really frustrated with sort of how badly it was running. So yeah, sort of abandoned it. But once I then got my original Xbox, I then picked it up again on the original Xbox, and I think I have sort of played it through on here and completed it. I can't remember if I completed it. I think I did complete it on the original Xbox instead of the PC, because I would have. No, I haven't. I know where I played it. I bought Doom 3 BFG edition on Steam, one of the Steam sales. So I was able to play it on sort of my modern PC, and that is where I completed it. Then we've got a couple more bits left in this bag before we move on to the next one. And the first one is a Pikachu hat. So this would have been something, I think this come in a loot crate that I bought. And yeah, I've just sort of kept hold of it. I've never worn it, but it is going to be something that I'm going to sort of put onto the Pokemon shelf. So yeah, really, really like that. I'm not going to show my wife, because my wife has gone absolutely mental for anything Pikachu. If I walk in the door and I've got something Pikachu, it's stolen. It's literally, I don't even get in the door with it and she steals it. So I've got a couple of Pikachu pickups in sort of over sort of the next sort of few months worth of boot fair videos. So yeah, pretty much all of them, bar I think 2, and that's only because she's already got one, are literally stolen. So yeah, what I will say is, for those of you that do watch the boot fair videos, they are going to be sort of rolling on for another couple of months, because I have been doing sort of multiple boot fairs every weekend, because I'm not putting out multiple boot fair videos on the channel. We've actually got, I think at the moment I've got boot fair videos running right into January, and I know we've got a couple more weeks left of the boot fairs sort of actually going on now. So dependent on sort of if I manage to sort of pick anything up at them as to sort of whether how far we go on. But yes, and then lastly in this bag we have got, so we've got a couple of original Game Boy games. We have got Tetris 2 with unfortunately it's got a ripped label. So I'm really gutted about that, because I don't think Tetris 2 was that widely picked up, so I think that's quite rare. I'll put a little message sort of just down the bottom, sort of with how much it's sort of going for on eBay. Now I've said that, it's probably going to be sort of like a couple of quid, but yeah, I've just got a feeling that sort of Tetris 2 is worth something. And then we've also got Kirby's Dream Land on the original Game Boy as well. So yeah, these were both sort of my wife's on sort of her original Game Boy. I am currently sort of pressuring my wife and her sister to go through her sister's Loft, because apparently her sister has got a Game Boy Color, a Pikachu Game Boy Color, as well as Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Red, and I think Pokemon Blue she said as well. So I am sort of organising a trade with her. So there's something that we've got downstairs on display that she really wants, and I've said, well, you can have that if you can get me the Game Boy and the games. So yeah, watch this space for that one. Then the last find that we had sort of out of just the bits that were sort of lying about in the loft was another Game Boy Advanced SP. So this is the sort of the dark one. We've got the Game Boy Advance SP Silver that we got from the boot fair, and this one actually has a cartridge in it. It's got Konami Crazy Racers. I've never played it, know nothing about it, but I think that's going to be actually my first genuine Game Boy Advance game, because I think the ones that I picked up with the silver Game Boy Advanced were pretty much all fake. So yeah, we've got that. So managed to get we've even got a new console. So we've got 2 more bags left. I'm gonna leave the first bag to the side, and we'll do that at the end. I'm gonna do this bag first, because in this bag I literally found a whole load of controllers and sort of other bits and pieces. So I'm going to start off, we've got 2 Mega Drive controllers. So yeah, they look in really good condition. Apart from a bit of a rattle between them both. So yeah, I'll probably sort of get them opened up, sort of try and find out what the rattle is and get them sort of repaired. We've then got an original PlayStation controller. That side looks really good. When you turn it over, there's quite a lot of yellowing on the reverse of the controller. Don't really feel sort of quite good, so that could potentially be a controller that I actually use, and then I can leave the one that I've got up there sort of in place. Then we've got what is actually my biggest disappointment. We've got a DualShock 1. So this is the DualShock, the very first DualShock to come out, that was released for the PlayStation 1. I've been dying to get hold of one of these. Really hope to sort of get hold of one to sort of add to the collection. But this one has been completely sort of discoloured. And yeah, when I sort of opened the bag and I saw that, I was so gutted. Really was. I'm sort of still on the lookout for sort of a DualShock. I'm actually, the 2 controllers that I'm actually desperate to get hold of is a DualShock 1 in good condition, and also a Xbox Duke controller. So those are the 2 that I'm sort of really sort of trying to find. So I am sort of massively on the lookout for them when I'm at the boot fairs. Then next up we've got my so this is the IR sensor for my Menacer. So this is the laser gun that was brought out for the Mega Drive. Basically, it was the Mega Drive's version of the SNES scope. And yeah, you had this box that sort of sat on top of the screen and literally sort of detected sort of whenever you shot at the screen. So yeah, I am now I've got that. Obviously I've got the game sort of on the Mega Drive shelf, and I've got most of the Menacer. The only thing I'm now missing, and I didn't find it in the move, so it's probably long gone now, but is the sights that sit on top of the Menacer. If I can get hold of them, then it's going to be complete, and I can sort of, I'll more look to sort of put it on display. So yeah, just got to sort of try and track that down. Then we've got a couple of PlayStation AV cable. We've got a PlayStation AV cable. We've got a Mega Drive RF cable. So this is the one that sort of goes into the aerial socket. And we've also got a PlayStation RF cable as well. So I haven't actually got one of these. All I've got is the AV cables. So yeah, that's nice to have. And then, so there's nothing else left in that box now. Just triple check. Yep, nothing else left in that box. So we've got this bag now, and this was the bag. This was one of the bags that I was desperate to find. So I knew I had sort of a load of games sort of sitting around, sort of in storage. Unfortunately, I didn't find the ones that I was expecting to find. So I've got my sort of original PS2 collection. Was not able to find them. Luckily, sort of pretty much all the games that I had sort of in that collection have now been sort of rebought and added to the collection in other ways. But like on the original PlayStation, on my sort of PlayStation 2, the original games that I had were things like all the Grand Theft Auto, so 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and Vice City Stories. I don't think did they release Liberty City Stories on the PS2? If they did, I had that as well. Stuntman, yeah, a whole raft, but I think I have actually managed to sort of reacquire them sort of through sort of the job lots that I've bought. But yeah, for some reason just could not find them. I've literally gone through every possible box, and yeah, just didn't find them. So unfortunately I'm going to chalk that one up to a loss. I know I haven't sold them because it's not the sort of thing that I would have sold, but it is what it is. But this bag is absolutely golden. I was jumping with joy when I found this. So how am I going to do this? I am going to put some of these off to the side. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pile them up so that I know exactly what's where, and then I'll go through them sort of in different ways. Yes, so this is how I'm going to do it. So the first one I've got is an empty case, and this is actually, now that I've said it, this was the game that I was talking about earlier on when we originally sort of spoke about the what's going to be the Windows 98 PC. This is the game, and it's a game called Mission Critical, and it's probably one that's gone completely under the radar. It was released back in 1995, and it is a point and click sci-fi adventure. It stars, and I cannot remember the actor's name. For any of you that have seen Star Trek Next Generation or Star Trek DS9, the actor who played Lieutenant Worf, he is the captain of a ship that basically gets disabled in a space battle. They get taken prisoner and end up sacrificing themselves by blowing themselves up. You're basically left on your ship It's down to you to sort of save the ship, complete your mission, and get back to Earth. As I say, it's a point and click adventure. It is an absolutely phenomenal game. I originally played it sort of when I stayed at, so I used to stay at my nan's house when I was younger, so especially during the summer holidays, and that was back when sort of the early days of the internet. My cousin would have sort of AOL, and that was the place that I first accessed the internet, and he had sort of a raft of games, and I don't know, I know that I've seen a load of the games, so I'm gonna have to sort of try and find them, but this was one of the games that I first played at his on his PC, and yeah, I managed to sort of pick it up a couple of years ago. I am looking to sort of get hold of a sort of complete boxed version, but for now I sort of had to sort of settle on sort of just getting the discs, and yeah, that is probably going to be the first game that I sort of install and play once we've got the Windows 98 machine up and running. Then we've got a couple of PlayStation 1 games. So first off, we've got Gran Turismo 2. This is the Platinum Edition. This one, so it's got, oh no, no, no. Oh, this is the sign. This is a face of devastation. So this is obviously a game that I've sort of picked up from someone else. Do I need to say anything else? That is gutting. Okay, as soon as I finish this video, I'm going online, I'm going on eBay, and I'm going to pick up a replacement for that disc. So that is disc 2, so that is the GT mode disc. That's all you can do with that one. So let's have a quick look at disc 1. Please don't tell me this is gone as well. No, that is okay. It's very badly scratched, so hopefully you can see, but obviously we have got the Easy Pro that we can sort of run it through. So other than that damaged disc, it is box complete. It's got the manual. As I say, the case is not actually too bad. It's a bit grubby, so it needs a bit of a clean up, but yeah, obviously there's a couple of cracks down there. I can't believe that. I really can't. So I've pretty much, I think all but sort of one game in here was a sort of a lot that I got off of someone that I used to hang about with, and this was the collection that I actually thought I had the original PlayStation in, the actual console, but for some reason it wasn't there. Literally, we've cleared the whole house out, and we just couldn't find it. So yeah, chalk that up to a loss. Obviously, we have now got an original PlayStation that we picked up at the boot fair. The next PlayStation game we've got is Urban Chaos. So another sort of really good game actually. I remember playing it when it first came out. The case is battered. The front cover's a bit battered as well. We've got the manual, which is good, and the disc is actually in all right condition. A couple of sort of small scratches on there, but nothing that's going to sort of stop it from playing. So yeah, not too bad, not too displeased with that one. As I say, if I've got to buy a new case for it, I'll buy a new case, that's not a problem. To be honest, I've got a couple of the PlayStation 1 games up there that do need new cases, so I probably will sort of try and get hold of some new ones when I can. Then the next one, so I don't know if this is my copy or if it's a copy that I got off this friend. I'm going to hazard a guess to say that it's my original copy, purely because the case is in relatively good condition. It is a pre-owned title, so I've obviously bought it pre-owned Yes, this is mine, and I know why, because I originally played this when my cousin rented a original PlayStation from Blockbuster. Back then you could actually, Blockbuster would actually sort of loan out original consoles, and I play. This was one of the games that he hired, and I bought this when I bought my PlayStation, my PS1. So yeah, box complete as I expected. All good with that one. Then we've got Duke Nukem Time to Kill. So we've got yeah, rear cover, manual. Manual's a bit sort of beaten up. We've got the disc. There's a couple of scratches to the sort of the label side of the disc, but the actual data part of the disc doesn't look too bad. So I am going to have to sort of try and pick up a front cover for this, and once again it could do with a case replacement. Then the last PlayStation 1 game that we've got is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but it's missing the top cover, the manual, as well as sort of the top cover on the case, and it is actually in a case for Tony Hawk skateboarding. So yeah, that is essentially sort of disc only. So yeah, I'll have to have a look, see if I can sort of get hold of the covers and the manual. I don't think it's an overly expensive game, so I may end up just buying a sort of complete version of it. And then we move on to one final console, and it's going to be the Mega Drive. So I found an absolute stack of Mega Drive games in this bag, and yeah, couldn't be happier. So first off, we'll go into one that we've already got, and this is the original Sonic. Yeah, we've got cartridge. Manual is damaged, it's missing the outer cover, but we do have sort of a copy of this in the collection already, which is actually sort of my original Sonic that come with my Mega Drive. Then we've got PGA Tour Golf 2. So this is an EA kart. Case it's going to need a new case. Obviously it's going to need to be a Pacific sort of EA case to sort of fit the EA kart. We are missing the manual as well, so I am going to sort of try and track that down, because I do like to sort of have Mega Drive games with the manuals. I think there's one other up there that I've got recently. I think it was Bubsy 2, I think is missing the manual, or it may be the original Bugsy. That I need to sort of track them down. Then we've got a mystery case. So there's no label, but I can hear that there's something in there, and it is an absolutely cracking title. So it is Mickey Mouse World of Illusion, World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. So this is actually the sequel to Castle of Illusion, which is a game that I picked up sort of from eBay sort of a little while back, and I've never actually played this one, so yeah, quite looking forward to having a go on that one. I am going to sort of have to try and track down a new case, a cover and a manual, which should be quite interesting. Then we've got one more, and another sort of mystery case. Sorry, we've got one more cased game. We've got a couple of uncased games as well, so carts only. And this one is, it's another Sonic the Hedgehog. So we've got a fair few of them now. I think I've got a couple. Have I got a couple of spare ones? Not too sure. But we've then got 2, 4, 6 more cart onlys. So the first one we've got is NBA Live 96. So that is another EA kart. Obviously you can always tell the EA karts by the yellow tag. And it's quite a funny story actually, sort of why EA basically got away with sort of doing their own cartridge. And basically what happened was when the Mega Drive was out, they reverse engineered the security on the Mega Drive. So they were actually able to sort of produce their own carts, basically sort of bypassing Sega's sort of requirement to sort of for it to be produced in their factories and at their cost. So yeah, that is why the EA carts are all different. We've got F-22 Interceptor, so we have got this one, and it is box complete. But yeah, that's another title there. Then we've got Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2. I think I've got this on Mega Games 1, I think we got this with. But I haven't got sort of the standalone game on its own. So yeah, another nice one to have. We've then got the Terminator. So this is another absolutely cracking game. Yeah, I've played it briefly, but now that I know that I've got the cartridge sort of in the collection, it will be one I am going to sort of power up on the Mega Drive. Then we've got two more. We've got World Cup Italian 90. So this is another game that sort of come with the Mega Games 1 collection. So it was this one, Super Monaco GP, I think it's Super Monaco GP2, or it's either Super Monaco GP, and columns. So yeah, played that one sort of quite extensively on that. And then the last one that we've got is actually an import. So it's Hard Driving by Tengen. This is a Mega Drive Japan game. So you see there, the Mega Drive logo is different. You've got the Japanese text on the top and the back, and then the cartridge is a completely different design. So what I am going to try and do is there is an adapter that you can get for sort of PAL Mega Drives that allow you to sort of plug in the Japanese carts. So I'm going to try and pick one of them up so that I can have a go at this one. I've played it before. I think I've played it before, but yeah, that's a nice one to sort of have in the collection. And that is it. I know I have rattled on. I don't actually know how long this video is, sort of at time of recording, but I know I have rattled on for sort of absolutely ages. So if you are still with me, thank you so much. Let me know in the comments down below sort of what you think and what is your favourite sort of pick that we managed to sort of find today. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to sort of hit the thumbs up. And also, if you're not already, maybe consider sort of hitting the subscribe button and ringing the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.